Yep. Good morning, all. Today we are going to discuss about multiple linear regression. In last session, we were discussed about linear regression. In linear regression, we were discussed about in linear regression we discussed about two things: x and y. X means your independent variables. Y means dependent variable. X means independent variables and Y means dependent variable. Whereas in this case, we just have considered only two variables. We haven't considered more than two variables. But in the real time, are we going to use only two variables? Can't we use more than two variables? Yes, definitely we are going to use more than two variables in the industry, in the real time. For example, I would like to predict GDP of a country. Does the GDP is depending on only single factor, or does the GDP is depending on multiple factors? Definitely GDP is going to be depending on the multiple factor. Maybe IT industry, maybe pharma, agriculture, supply chain, supply and demand, infrastructure, and many more. And many more. So that means GDP is not depending on the single factor, it is depending on the multiple factors. So in the real time also, just as a base concept, we are using a simple linear regression. But whereas in the real scenario, real time, we are going to use the multiple linear regression only. So one person health, if you'd like to predict the person health, how do we predict the person health? Is health is just depending on the smoking and drinking? Is health is just depending on smoking and drinking? No. Health may depend on whatever the food is taken, food habits, sleeping habits, genetics, age, kind of work he is doing, all many other factors. So in health also, we would like to predict one person health is not just depending on the single factor. There are always multiple factors. So in real time also, we are going to use the multiple linear regression. What is the formula for the simple linear regression? Simple linear regression formula is y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1x plus epsilon. This is simple. Here only one independent. Whereas in the multiple linear regression, y is equal to beta naught beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus and so on beta n xn plus epsilon. Here n means it can be a two variables, or it can be a three variables, or it can be a four variables. It can be any variable. Let me draw a graph for this. Let me draw graph. So in simple linear regression, how it will be? This is the x1, This is the y-axis. So it can be x2 also. It may be x3. Like this, the graph will be there. So it kind of multi-dimensional graph. We cannot say, we cannot, it is very difficult to show more than, I mean, two-dimensional we can define, three-dimensional more in the graph, normal we cannot define. It is really difficult to identify. Now, the same properties, whatever we discuss in the simple linear regression, the same properties we are going to discuss in the multiple linear regression. Here, first properties, both independent variables and dependent variable should be linear. So you may get that out. Both independent variables and dependent variables should be linear. So in my data, I have a 4 x1, x2. Let's assume that I have a independent variables. X1, x2, x3, and dependent variable is y. Now how do I find the linear or not? You have to check like this: x1 comma y, x2 comma y, x3 comma y. For example, your x1y and x2y is linear. X1y and x2y is linear, but x3y is not linear. Then you need to do the transformations. What are the different transformations we have? Log transformation, exponential transformation, z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, like square transformation, square root or cube root. Log transformation, exponential transformation, z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, and square or square root as well as the cube root. These are the various transformations we have to use. When do we need to use this transformation? Whenever your data is not linear. Whenever your data is not linear, we have to use this transformation. Okay. So the first and foremost property is both your independent variables and dependent variable should be linear. Should be linear. So here in this case, x1, x2, x3 and dependent variable y, x1, y, let's say first we need, how do we check the relation whether it is a linear or not? First we need to check the x1y, x2y, x3y. Assume that x1y, x2y are the linear. If in case x3y is not linear, what we need to do? We need to go for the transformation. What are the different transformations we have? Log transformation, exponential, z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, square or square root as well as cube root. These are the various transformations we have. Now, your dependent variable, second point, your independent variables and dependent variable independent variables and dependent variables are continuous. Your independent variable and dependent variables are continuous. Your independent variables and dependent variables are continuous. So all the variables should be continuous. All your variables, all the variables, independent comma dependent variables should be normally distributed. Should be normally distributed. Independent variable, dependent variable should be normally distributed. Next point will be variance of error is constant. That is the homogeneity or homoscale. Next, observations are independent. What does it mean? The most important point we need to discuss, observations are independent. Now let me have a discussion about this point. Observations are independent. How do we discuss about this? Observations are independent means one independent variable should not influence the other independent variables. One independent variable should not influence the other independent variable. So, if one variable is influencing the other variables, the problem is called as the collinearity problem, correlation problem. If there is a correlation between independent variable, if there is a correlation between independent variables, then one independent variable could influence the other independent variables. If there is a correlation between the independent variables, then one independent variable could influence the other independent variable. So make sure that what does it mean? If there is a correlation between one independent variable, then one independent variable could influence the other independent variable. That means the relation between the two independent variables should be a strong positive or strong negative. Then there could be a possibility the correlation might happen. As we discussed in the correlation point of view, the correlation between the 2 points, if it is a positive, strong positive means here R value is in between -1 less than or equal to R less than or equal to 1. R means coefficient of correlation. If the R value is greater than 0.75, strong positive, or less than -0.75, that is strong negative correlation. If these cases happen, relation between the two independent variables are happening in these scenarios, then definitely those variables might influence the one each other. So as while building the model, make sure that each and every independent variable, as we mentioned, independent variables, one variable should not influence the other variable. Then only we can call it as an independent variable. One variable is influence other variable, then definitely we cannot call it as an independent variable. So while building the model, make sure that your independent variable should not influence the other independent variable. While checking the while checking or while in the process of identifying independent variables, we may get a one problem, that is a correlation problem. So for the two variables it is normal, assume that three variables, assume that four variables, then it is called as the multi collinearity. Then it is called as a is a correlation between more than one variable. If the if the correlation between more than one variable is called as multicollinearity. The correlation between more than one variable is called as multicollinearity. Let's say, let me give an example like x1, x2, x3, three variables are there. Now what we need to do, we need to check the correlation between x1, x2, x2, x3 and x3, x1. So how many correlation we are finding here? Three correlations, x1, x3 or x3, x1 both are the same. x2, x1 or x1, x2 both are the same. So we are trying to find out the three different correlation value. So this is the called as the multicollinearity. The formula for the multicollinearity is VAF is equal to, VAF is nothing but multicollinearity, 1 by 1 minus r square. VAF simply we can write variance influence factor. VAF is nothing but variance influence factor is equal to 1 by 1 minus r square. R square is nothing but coefficient of determination. So simply we can write this is the formula for the r square. R square is approximately equal to the small r. Small r is nothing but coefficient of correlation. So 1 by 1 minus r. When it can be in a collinearity, there is a greater than or equal to 75, 1 minus 0.7. That is equal, if VIF is greater than 4, then we can say it as a collinearity or between the variables. Then we need to remove those variables. Is everyone is clear how do we get these values? Let me repeat that again. VIF is equal to, the formula for the VIF is 1 by 1 minus r square. VIF is nothing but variance influence factor, is other name also called as the multicollinearity. Here r square is nothing but coefficient of determination, that is nothing but simple linear regression accuracy, which will be approximately equal to the small r. Small r is nothing but coefficient of determination. So simply we can write 1 by 1 minus r. When should we remove the variable from the correlation? When it is have a strong positive or more than, or strong negative or more than that, we can remove the variable. If that means strong positive means greater than or equal to 0.75. So 0.75 is the cutoff. 1 by 1 minus 0.75. That is nothing but 1 by 0.25. 1 by 0.25 is nothing but 4. So that is the reason we consider as a 4. Is it clear, guys? Anyone is not clear about the top concept? Any doubts? So make sure that while building the model, there is no multi-collinearity between the variable. Let's do a lab on this. The multiple linear we are just importing the same data set. So here also while building the model, see the same data set we are using yesterday. So in the yesterday we are using only two variables, passengers and promotion budget. Now we are going to use the multiple variables. How do we use that? Names of first we need to do air. So in the names of air will be week number, all this. Let's say again building the model. Model 1 is equal, you can write anything. Model 1 is equal to, here also LM. So dependent variable is passengers tilde. Independent variables are promotion, budget. If you have more than one independent variable, you need to use the plus, service quality, score, plus inter metro ratio, right? Comma, whatever the variables we have, a data is equal to air, right? Simple. First we need to write same syntax like yesterday. LM, passengers your dependent variable, tilde independent variables, promotion budget plus service quality score plus intermetro flight ratio. These are the one plus plus means more than adding the one by one independent variable. Data is equal to 8. Okay. How do we do? Now what we are going to do now? Here in this case, first once we build the model, while analyzing the model, make sure that your probability of deviation value should be significant. Probability of deviation value should be significant. That means PR of the value is PR of t value is less than or equal to 0.05. This is the first step while analyzing the. Next, if in case any of the probability value which is greater than 0.05, straight away remove that variable first. Let's say if a more, which variable I need, wherever probability is the highest value, that I mean probability of deviation is the highest, that value you need to remove first. Second will be make sure that there is no VIF in our variable, in our data. VIF means multi-collinearity. That means VIF should be less than 4. VIF less than 4. These are the topmost important priority to us. Okay, then only we can find the if that these 2 points are correct, then only we can clear with the our accuracy of the model. First point is probability of deviation value should be significant. That means probability of TR value less than or equal to 0.05. Make sure that there is no VIF in our data. VIF should be less than 4. So I'm building the model. Now we need to summarize the model. Summary of model 1. If you look into this here, see, the first point will be the first point here is looking. The first point is call LM. Formula is equal to passengers tilde promotional budget service quality score intermediate freight ratio. Data is equal to air. Residuals is equal to minimum value, whatever you have the minimum value. So residual means error. In all the 80 observation, you will get the 80 different errors. For each, what is the minimum error which we got is minus 4790. First quarter, median value, third quarter, and maximum value. So here the intercept, here the first thing we need to find out, we need to check the probability of t values, right? As for the first point, probability of PR of is nothing but probability of deviation value. For the intercept, we never ever focus about. So forget about the intercept value. So your intercept is the 3-star, promotional budget is also 3-star, service quality also 3-star. But what about the intermetro freight ratio? 0.35. That means what is the alpha value here for intermediate flight ratio? For intermetro flight ratio, PR value is 0.35. That means PR is equal to 1 minus alpha. Alpha is equal to 1 minus PR. That is equal to alpha is equal to 1 minus 0.35. That is 65% confidence. 65% of confidence interval. So ideally, what is the ideally how much it would be there? Ideally, we have to have 95% confidence interval. Ideally, we have to have the 95% confidence interval. So what we need to do here in this case, we can remove the intermetro flight ratio. The reason why we are removing the intermetro flight ratio is because the variable is not the significant variable. It doesn't have the 95% confidence interval. So we are going to remove this variable. PR is equal to 0.35. PR is equal to 1 minus alpha. Alpha is equal to 1 minus PR. So 1 minus 0.35 is 65% of the confidence interval. Ideally, we have to have 95% confidence. It doesn't obey the rules of 95% confidence interval. So what we are doing, we are going to remove the variable. So instead of checking the below values, directly what we need to do, we need to remove the intermediate flight ratio, and then again we are building the model. The confidence interval of intermetro flight ratio is not significant so we are going to remove the intermetro. So confidence interval of intermetro flight rate is not significant, so we are going to remove the intermetro flight rate. Okay, so again we need to build the model. Now we are building the model 2 is equal to lm of same. Let's copy paste, comma, data is equal to air. Simply we are saying passengers tilde promotional budget plus service quality score, comma, data is equal to 8, comma, data is equal to 8. Let me run this. So again we need to summarize the things. Summary of model 2. So now let's check, confirm it. Does the first thing we got the residuals? Residual means error. So everyone is clear about that. Now how many stars we have for each and every variable? 3 stars. 3 star means does each and every variable is significant? Yes. 3 star means each and every variable is significant. 1. Residual deviation standard error is means on standard 77. What is the why we are getting 77? Yesterday we got the 78. Now why would we got the 77? The formula for the rest n minus k minus 1. What is the formula? N is the 80. How many independent variables are we using? 2 independent variables, 1 dependent variable. So the value will be 77. The value will be 77. So that is the meaning of 77 degrees of freedom. Here we need to check multiple r square or adjusted r square. Let me that is a standard error mu by sigma. That is error mu by sigma, that value. There is a two terms, multiple r square and adjusted r square. Multiple r square and adjusted r square. Multiple r square means in simple linear regression, if we have one independent variable and one dependent variable, we are going to use multiple r square. If you have one independent variable and one dependent variable, we are going to use multiple r square. As number of independent variables are increasing, as number of independent variables are increasing, multiple r square or r square, multiple r square or simply r square is not, as number of independent variables are increasing, r square is also increasing. As number of independent variables are increasing, r square value, r square means multiple r square, is also increasing. So but ideally at certain point of time what happens, as the number of independent variables are increasing, r square might reach more than 1. But ideally what is the range of r square value? As number of independent variables are increasing in the, as number of independent variables are increasing, at certain point of time, r square might reach more than 1, but ideal r square range will be, ideal r square range value will be 0 to 1. The reason why it is happening, because r square doesn't have a capability, doesn't have a capability or penalize the because r square doesn't have a capability or penalize the standard as number of independent variables are increasing at certain point of time, r square might reach more than 1, but ideally r square value will be in the range of 0 to 1, because r square doesn't have a capability to penalize the standard error. R square doesn't have a, so that is the reason, we are going to use the adjusted r square. So in one of the interview question, definitely they are going to ask you the question, what is the difference between adjusted r square and r square? R square we definitely using when you are using a simple linear regression. Simple linear regression means one independent variable and one dependent. As the number of independent variables are increasing, at a certain point of time, r square might reach more than 1. So we ideally the r square range would be 0 to 1. So because of the reason why it is more than 1, because r square doesn't have a capability or penalize the standard error. For that, what we are going to use, we are going to use the adjusted r square. Here the formula for the r square is, r square means multiple r square. R square means multiple r square. The formula is SSR by SST. But adjusted r square formula is n minus k minus 1 by n minus k into SSR by SST. Simply we can write like this, n minus k minus 1 by n minus k into r square. N minus k minus 1 by n minus k into r square. See, this is the formula, and that is how we got the adjusted r square is 94.95. The f static value is 744. 2 means 2 independent variables. 77 means n minus k minus 1. P value is whatever, that is not required. In earlier, if I mentioned the M1 summary, see how many p values will be there. See, so earlier it is a 3. Now it is 2. That means which indicates the 2 independent. The formula is f static value is the MSR by MSE. Now we check the p value. P value is correct. Now we need to finalize the accuracy of the model. Before we are finalizing the accuracy of the model, what we need to do? We have to check the multicollinearity. How do we check the multicollinearity? How to check multicollinearity? So here multicollinearity. Before we are checking the multicollinearity, is there any doubts, guys? Before we check the multicollinearity, is there any doubts? Do you have any questions? Here to check the multicollinearity, we need to install the one package. Package name is called as a car package. Package name is called car. I already in my library which is available. You need to install it first. Car library, car means classification and regression. For the classification problem as well as a regression problem, we are going to use the car. How do we install the car package? Go to the packages. Here you have, can you see the install button? Here type the car. Do you want to restart? Already it has been installed in your system. For me it is already installed, so we doesn't require to restart it. So here we have a one function name called VIF. VIF is the function name. Very simple, sir. Model, whatever the model we are using, model 2. Here see, promotional budget is 3.46. Service quality also 3.46. Service quality also 3.46. So here in this case, there is no multicollinearity between the two variables. So we are not going to remove the variable here in this case. So whatever the accuracy we got here, 94.94 is our accuracy of the model. This is all about your multiple linear regression model. Okay. Now let me go with the one more example. Let me import the one more data set. Final exam score. So here the data is a very small, 24 observation. Ideally we should not use, but let's as an experience purpose just try to use it. Here just in this case, how many variables we have? 5 variables. What are the 5 variables? SEM1 science, SEM2 science, SEM1 mathematics, SEM2 mathematics, final exam marks. Here out of this, which is the dependent variable, which are the independent variables? Which is the dependent variable, which is the independent variable? So if you want to get the final exam marks, how do we get the exam marks? Based on the subject. So here what are the different subjects we have? SEM1 science, SEM2 science, SEM1 mathematics, SEM2 mathematics. Final exam marks. So which is the dependent variable? Final exam marks is the dependent variable. SEM1 science, SEM2 science, SEM1 mathematics, SEM2 mathematics is the independent variables. So building the multiple regression model for final exam marks. Final exam score data. Here first what we need to do, how do we build? Model 3 is equal to LM. Here names of final exam score. Automatically we will get the final exam marks is our dependent variable. Tilde. So here we can keep the dot. Dot means it will consider all the variables. Now here it will consider SEM1 science, SEM2 science, SEM1 mathematics, SEM2 mathematics. Now you may get the dot. Why we did not consider the dot in air passengers data? The reason why we haven't considered the dot in the air passengers is we have some categorical data like holiday week, technical issues indicator. So those are the categorical. If I mention the dot means which include those variables also, but those variables should not include into our model, because linear regression works only for the numerical or continuous data. It doesn't work for the categorical data. Whereas in final exam score, we have all the variables, sem1 science, sem2 science, sem1 mathematics, sem2 mathematics, all are the numerical. So we mention the dot, comma, data is equal to final exam score. Data is equal to final exam score. Now summary of model 3. So what is the first step we need to do? We need to check the p value, which is the most significant, which is not significant variable here. Sem2 mathematics, if you look into the sem2 mathematics, is the not significant variable. So what we need to do, we need to remove the sem2 mathematics, because the confidence limit of the sem2 mathematics is only 71 percentage. That means 29 means 71 percentage. So that is not the significant at all. So what we are going to do, we are removing the sem2 mathematics variable. Sem2 math is not significant variable, so we are going to remove this. Sem2 math is not the significant variables, so we are going to remove the sem2 mathematics. How do we build now? So from the model, final exam marks, names, again we write the names. Now names of so we are building the model 4 is equal to lm of final exam marks tilde sem1 science plus sem2 science sem1 mathematics, comma, data is equal to final exam score. Data is equal to final exam score. So let me run this one. Summary of model 4. So in this case, let me check. Now intercept we never bother about the PR value, so forget about this. And does it the significant 0.012? Yes, 99% it is significant. These are also significant. So before we are finalizing the accuracy of the model, what we need to check? We need to check the VIF, right? How do we check the VIF? So checking the multicollinearity. How do we check the multicollinearity? VIF of model 4. VIF of model 4. See, sem1 science VIF is 7. sem2 science VIF is 5.33. sem1 mathematics VIF is 4. Ideally, VIF which is greater than 4, we have to remove the. Now in this case, all three variables which is greater than 4. Do I need to remove all the three variables? No. Ideally we cannot remove all the three variables. Just we can remove the one variable first. Based on that, we are going to check. If these kind of things happen, we are not going to remove all the variables. We are going to remove the one variable at a time. Then which variable I need to remove? Wherever VIF is high, that variable we have to remove first. Here in this case, we are removing the sem1 underscore science variable because of high VAF value. Let's build the model again. Let's build the model again. So let me copy this. Same thing, sem1 science we are not going to consider. So let's keep it this as a 5 model 5. This is also kept as a minus 5. So let's do this. Let's run this. So now these two variables are significant. The p-value are satisfying for sem2 science as well as the sem1 mathematics. Now what we need to check, is there a VIF again? We have to check the VIF, checking the multi collinearity, checking the multi-collinearity. So how do I check VIF of model 5? So 3.35 as well as 3.3. So both are less than 4. Then your accuracy of the model is 98.33. This is how we will build the model. This is how we will build the model, simple linear or multiple linear regression model. This is all about your multiple linear regression.